So, let me set the stage. The year is 1991, and Sega is beginning to make Sonic the Hedgehog games. But, as a little bit of a teaser, Sega released a game with a keychain hanging from the windowsill. The game that this was in was called Rad Racer, and it featured a keychain of Sonic hanging from the mirror. So when Sega actually started to make Sonic the Hedgehog games, this was when the Mega Drive and Genesis were doing well, coming as okay competitors to Nintendo's NES. So first we have Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog is, without a doubt, one of the best-selling Sonic games, selling 15 million units, and this is all thanks to Sega deciding to sell the Sega Genesis with Sonic the Hedgehog. They didn't just sell the console, they sold it with Sonic the Hedgehog. So after this came Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because it was pretty much obvious that they were going to make a second one. So this one sold 6 million units, so it didn't do as well, but it still did pretty good. So Sonic Spinball, this one was really weird. It was played on arcade machines and on the Genesis. It was a pinball game featuring Sonic, where you had Sonic curled up into a ball, attacking things as a ball. Then you have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Of course, this was obviously gonna come out, and this is pretty much one of the most notorious Sonic games, even though it didn't sell as much. It sold 4 million units, and here's the cool thing about it. So Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was its own game, but Sonic and Knuckles was another game, and if you connected the two, you could play the entire game, because it was a feature. It was a feature because Sega needed more money. And this was the first game to feature Knuckles the Echidna. No, not that stupid meme. Stop. Anyway, after that came a 3D Sonic the Hedgehog game in 1998. Now this is 4 years after Sonic the Hedgehog 3. They made a new console called the Dreamcast, and Sonic Adventure was its first 3D game. It's a very large debate. Like, you can ask one side, like, this game is terrible, but you can ask another, this game is pretty good. It's a mixed bag. Then the Dreamcast didn't sell very well because they weren't looking at the right target. Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle were also released on the Dreamcast, but were released on the GameCube, selling way more units when they were released on the GameCube, because the Dreamcast didn't do so well. It was its second 3D game, and obviously a sequel to Sonic Adventure. Then after this came Sonic Advanced on the Game Boy Advance. This was when Sega and Nintendo were starting to become pretty good allies. So the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance were both Sega consoles, and after the Dreamcast, Sega was pretty much doomed to become a third-party developer. After Sonic Advanced, we got a bunch more Sonic Advance. We got Sonic Advance 2 and 3, because the game was really good. It was just it was locked out of a lot of people because there were certain specifications you needed for it. Then in 2003 came Sonic Mega Collection. This was released on the GameCube and featured a bunch of Sonic's greatest hits, like Sonic CD, which wasn't mentioned because it's not that good. Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which included way more games, and these two were released on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox because Sega was becoming a third-party developer. Then we have a port of the original Sonic the Hedgehog released for phones. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, or Sonic the Hedgehog 06, which was really, really bad. I'm gonna put some gameplay on screen and just show you how buggy it was, which was released for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Sonic Unleashed, which was okay on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, but the Wii and PlayStation 2 versions, they changed publishers, and they made the game complete garbage. Then we had Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. It's just a racing game with Sonic to compete with Mario Kart, and it didn't sell very well. It's not that good. We have Sonic Colors for the Wii and Nintendo DS. It was really bad on the DS, but on the Wii it was really good. It's considered one of the best modern Sonic games. Then Sonic Generations. This is also considered one of the best. Then Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. I don't even know why they bothered to make a sequel, because it's the same thing, except, again, to compete with Mario Kart 8, they had changing car forms. Then Sonic Lost World. Don't get me started on this game. Sonic Boom. Oh. Don't get me started on this game either. I'm not. Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice. No. Why did they make a sequel? I don't understand why they made a sequel to a game that sold horribly. Then we have the Mario and Sonic sub-series. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. These titles are weird. It's Mario and Sonic. Like, a bunch of Sonic characters and a bunch of Mario characters competing at the Olympics. And it still sells really well. Now, there's also one of the best games, in my opinion, Sonic Mania. It's relatively new, and it was released for the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. This game is phenomenal. It goes back to the old Sonic 3 and Sonic 2 style, but it has so many more frames of animation, and Sega pretty much hired fans to make this game. That's how desperate Sega was to get those old fans back in. And then Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces is Sonic Forces. I'm not even gonna talk about that one. So, Sonic the Hedgehog has had a bad history because Sega doesn't know how to market them. The old fans of Sonic the Hedgehog are probably like 20 years old now, and they want to play games that are targeted. Sega should start targeting their games at older audiences, because that's what's going to bring the fans back in, because that's what that's about the time period that Sonic the Hedgehog was released in. The people that used to like it are now 20 and don't like it anymore, because it's still got that quirky, whoa, hey, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm so cool, I'm so fast, look at me go, haha. Kinda, and let's be honest, nobody likes that. Just stop. Because the kids that they're going after want shooting games. And, yeah. Well, that's pretty much it for my presentation. Sorry you had to listen to me rant about the Sonic fan base there for a second. Also, Sonic Forces is bad. Bye.